The runway at Marine Corps Air Station Iwakuni shook with excitement. For the first time, Japan's new F-35B Lightning II fighters touched down on Japanese soil. TV crews and military observers captured the moment. It marked the birth of a new era in Japanese defense. Headlines blared, Japan's F-35B fighters arrive, ready for carrier deployment. For Japan, this was not just another shipment of jets. It meant the start of a powerful new carrier strike force. The world was watching closely. The arrival of these stealth jets carries big meaning. It signals Japan's ambition to defend its seas and skies like never before. The F-35Bs are not just planes, they are a symbol of Japan's changing military posture in Asia. Japan is now building one of the most modern F-35 fleets outside the United States. The country has ordered 147 F-35 fighters, more than any other U.S. partner. Out of these, 42 are the F-35B model. These are special because they can take off and land vertically, perfect for carriers. Japan's new carrier strike force centers around these jets. The F-35B can launch from shorter runways thanks to its lift fan and swiveling exhaust. This is crucial, since Japan's ships are smaller than U.S. supercarriers. With each carrier able to carry up to 14 F-35Bs, Japan's power at sea is growing fast. This new force is about size and ability. Japan's two main carriers, Izumo and Kaga, are now the largest ships in Japan's navy since World War II. They can carry helicopters, F-35Bs, and support craft. Together they make Japan's navy much stronger and more flexible. Japan's F-35B strike force is not just for show. It is designed to work with U.S. jets and ships, help defend allies, and respond quickly to crises. In the Asia-Pacific, these new capabilities change the balance of power. Japan's defense planners face tough realities. The region is home to growing threats. China has built the world's largest navy, with more ships than the U.S. Chinese warships and Coast Guard vessels often sail close to Japanese islands. There are constant disputes over the Senkaku Islands. North Korea is another danger. It tests missiles often and says it could target Japan with nuclear weapons. In 2017, North Korean missiles flew over Japanese territory, waking up the nation to new risks. Japan cannot ignore these threats. There's also the worry of high-tech warfare. China is investing in stealth jets, anti-ship missiles, and cyber attacks. North Korea keeps building new types of missiles. Japan must be able to defend itself from both sudden attacks and slow pressure. That is why Japan is investing in carriers and F-35Bs. These are meant to protect Japan's islands, keep sea lanes open, and deter aggression. The new strike force is a direct answer to these rising threats. Japan cannot face these challenges alone. Its alliance with the United States is the backbone of its security. The arrival of F-35Bs and new carriers helps Japan and the U.S. work even more closely together. The U.S. Navy and U.S. Marine Corps already operate F-35Bs from ships in the Pacific. With Japan's carriers now able to host the same jets, joint operations become easier. American and Japanese pilots can train together, share tactics, and even swap jets if needed. Japan's new carriers will often sail with U.S. ships. Together, they can form powerful strike groups. This makes it harder for rivals to attack or surprise either navy. It also reassures allies in the region, like Australia and the Philippines. The shared use of F-35Bs means Japan and the U.S. can respond faster to any crisis. They can defend each other's ships, support ground forces, and patrol the skies. This partnership is a strong warning to anyone thinking of threatening Japan. Turning Izumo and Kaga into true aircraft carriers was a big engineering job. Originally, these ships were helicopter carriers. They could launch helicopters for anti-submarine and rescue missions. But to fly F-35Bs, they needed major changes. First, the flight decks were reinforced with special heat-resistant materials. The F-35B's engines produce intense heat during vertical landings. Without upgrades, the decks would melt. Second, the bow of each ship was reshaped. This lets planes take off more easily and gives more space for parking jets. Both ships received new systems for jet fuel storage and weapons handling. The elevators were made stronger to lift heavier planes. New cooling and firefighting systems were added. All these upgrades mean Izumo and Kaga are now true light carriers. Each ship is about 248 meters long, almost as long as 3 football fields. They can carry up to 14 F-35Bs, or a mix of jets and helicopters. This is smaller than U.S. supercarriers, but much more powerful than before. The F-35B is no ordinary fighter jet. It's a stealth aircraft designed to avoid radar. It has sensors that can spot threats far away. Its engine can swivel, letting it land vertically, like a helicopter. For Japan, these jets bring a huge leap in ability. The F-35B can take off from short decks, attack ships or land targets, and dodge enemy missiles. Its radar and sensors mean it can help guide other planes and ships in battle. Pilots call it a flying command center. Japan's F-35Bs can carry advanced missiles and smart bombs. They can hunt submarines or launch surprise attacks. With stealth and speed, they can get close to enemy ships without being seen. This makes Japan's Navy much more flexible. Before, Japan relied on land-based jets or US carriers. Now it can project air power from the sea, anywhere in the region. That changes how Japan and its rivals think about security. Operating F-35Bs from carriers is hard. Pilots and crew need special training. Japan has sent aircrews to the US to learn from Marine Corps experts. The first landings and takeoffs on Izumo happened with US pilots on board to help. Joint drills are now routine. Japanese F-35Bs practice launching and landing with US jets. Crews learn how to refuel, load weapons, and repair jets at sea. These exercises also test how the ships and planes communicate in battle. This teamwork is vital. In a crisis, Japanese and US carriers might operate side by side. Mixed teams make them stronger. They share intelligence, tactics, and even spare parts for F-35Bs. Japan is also learning new tactics. The US Navy has decades of carrier experience. By working together, Japan's crews gain skills fast. This raises the overall level of Japan's Navy and helps create a united front in Asia. With new carriers and F-35Bs, Japan's Navy can handle many missions. The main job is defending Japanese islands. Carriers can move quickly, launch jets to patrol airspace, and intercept enemy planes or missiles. Japan can also project power. Its carriers can sail near trouble spots, supporting allies or showing strength. In wartime, the F-35Bs can strike enemy ships, land targets, or hunt submarines. Their stealth allows them to hit first, before being detected. The carriers will not sail alone. Each will have destroyers, submarines, and supply ships. These escort ships defend against submarines, missiles, and air attacks. Together, they form a carrier strike group like the US Navy uses. Japan is also developing package missions. For example, a group of F-35Bs might hunt enemy submarines in the morning, then switch to intercepting bombers in the afternoon. This flexibility is new for Japan, making its navy much more versatile. Japan's new carriers are powerful but not perfect. The ships are smaller than US supercarriers. They cannot carry as many jets and have limited hangar and fuel space. This limits how long they can fight without resupply. F-35Bs use a lot of fuel and require careful maintenance. Japan's Navy must learn how to keep the jets flying at sea. There's also the risk of attack. China has long-range missiles that could target the carriers. Defending the ships against surprise strikes is a big challenge. Operating carriers is expensive. Training pilots, buying spare parts, and upgrading ships all cost a lot. Japan must balance its budget between carriers, submarines, and other forces. Finally, carriers are always at risk in modern warfare. Submarines, missiles, and cyber attacks can threaten even the best protected ships. Japan must keep improving its defenses to keep the carriers safe. South Korea also wanted aircraft carriers. In 2020, it announced plans to build a new light carrier for F-35Bs, but the project ran into trouble. Costs soared, and the government cut the budget. By 2023, the plan was postponed. One big problem was ship design. South Korea's Navy has focused on submarines and destroyers, not carriers. It did not have experience upgrading ships like Izumo and Kaga. The project would have required starting from scratch. Money was another issue. South Korea faces different threats, mainly from North Korea's army and missiles. Leaders decided other projects were more urgent. Unlike Japan, South Korea does not have US-style carrier groups or as many F-35Bs. Japan also had a head start. It began planning carrier upgrades years earlier. Its alliance with the US provided help in training and technology. For now, South Korea's carrier dream is on hold, while Japan moves ahead. Japan's new carriers and F-35Bs have changed Asia's balance of power. For the first time since World War II, Japan can project air power from the sea. This makes Japan more confident, and its rivals more cautious. What comes next? Japan may buy more F-35Bs or even build a third carrier. New drones and hypersonic missiles are being considered. Some experts say Japan could lead a new group of Asian navies, working together to keep the seas free. But challenges remain. Operating carriers is expensive and risky. China's navy keeps growing. North Korea is unpredictable. Japan must keep working with allies and investing in new technology. Still, the arrival of the F-35Bs and the rebirth of Japan's carrier force marks a turning point. In the years to come, Japan will play a bigger role in keeping Asia-Pacific safe, and the world will be watching closely.